This week on Big Boys TV, my family and I are headed to Africa. We're just about to leave for the airport, so follow us. It's going to be a really fun trip. Well, we made it to the airport here in Detroit. We're headed from here to Germany and then from Germany to Africa. We've got the whole family with us. We're super excited for this adventure and we're just ready to get over there and start hunting. This week we are headed to Namibia, Africa. This is our first time ever hunting over in Africa. We're really excited. We have the whole family with us on kind of a family trip. After we got settled into the lodge, I could immediately tell that this place was unlike anywhere I had ever been before. You step out of your rooms and there's this huge valley of all these different animals. It was amazing. I just couldn't wait to get out there and really see what kind of animals they had on this property. If you're just joining us, we are hunting in Namibia, Africa. It's our first morning before we head out, and we're just getting some shooting in, and then we're gonna go over some shot placement, and then we're gonna head out to the blinds and see if we can't see some of the animals. A really cool thing that we're doing on this trip is we're going to be donating some of the meat to an SOS Children's Village, which is just an orphanage and it's also a school just full of kids in need. So we're going to be donating some of the meat, and it's just the least we could do, and it really makes us feel good to have a little bit more of a purpose. A lot of things that I didn't realize were so different about hunting in Africa compared to hunting in North America. For example, in North America, you shoot most of your animals behind the front shoulder, where in Africa, shot placement is totally different. So in Africa, you want to shoot the animals almost right in that front shoulder or in that general area because their vitals are farther forward and their shoulder blades are just different than the animals in North America. It was really hard to get used to, but we had such a good guide and he was able to talk me through this whole process. We're headed back out to the blind again this morning. Yesterday we saw lots of animals and I actually pulled back on a zebra, but it was just a little too dark and I didn't want to take the shot. But we're headed back out today. It's nice out here. excited to see some more animals today, and maybe we can have one on the ground. This morning we were seeing a lot of impala and warthogs, but we could just see off in the distance a blue wildebeest that was just kind of skirting the tree line, so we were really waiting for him to come in. This guy was being really cautious coming in. He was taking his sweet old time, but as he got closer, we realized that he was a shooter. As I was getting ready to take the shot, Julio was explaining to me exactly where he wanted me to place this shot.
Huge blue wildebeest. Well, huge to me is huge, and it was just perfect. He was just here at the water, and we were just waiting for him, and got him in a perfect position, and I took the shot. I felt pretty good. Those ram cats are ridiculously awesome. So, and he went down, 100 yards away. So that was great.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you're just joining us, we are hunting in Namibia, Africa, hunting some beautiful big game animals here with my whole family.
We've got a nice spring buck coming in, and there's another one with it, and they're fighting. They're kind of chasing each other around here. So I'm gonna try to get my bow, get a shot out on them. I just had a perfect shot on a springbuck. Perfect. They were chasing each other around, and I was having an issue with getting them. I was pulling back, letting out, pulling back, letting out. It was a great shot. I can't believe that it could go as far as it did, but the adrenaline must have just got pumping in them. Whew, that was exciting.
Well, here's my first springbuck, my first African game actually, in Namibia here. He only went maybe 100 yards and expired, and between the PSC and the ramcat broadheads, it did its job here at Damara Dik Dik Safaris.
The direction of the wind switched up midday, so my dad and the guys decided to switch blinds.
Okay, we just moved to a new watering hole because the wind changed on us, so we're just getting set up. Once we get set up, hope some new animals will come in here in Africa. Fernando's coming up the steps right now as we speak.
Or maybe it's a baboon coming up the steps.
Yeah, it might be a baboon.
After sitting for a couple hours, a nice gemsbok started coming in, and my dad was just hoping he would present him with a shot.
All right, folks, well, as you saw, I just shot a gemsbok, and I thought maybe it was a little bit too high, but I have confidence in my ram cats, and I thought it might have clipped a lung, and that's exactly what it did. We got in there in the real thick stuff, and I'm trying to video myself, sweating like crazy, and we found them way back in there.
Let's keep moving. We're gonna head right into the next morning. I'm still hoping for a kudu and a gemsbok, but I just gotta be patient and see what happens today.
We've just been sitting here for a few minutes, and there's a springbok coming in. It looks like a pretty nice one, so if he comes into the water, I'll take a shot. It's just a little far back, so we're gonna give him some time before we go look for it.
Well, last night I shot a really nice springbok, but the shot was a little bit far back. So it let us sit overnight, and we found it, which is super exciting. So we're gonna take some pictures, then we're gonna head out to the blind and hunt this evening. We're on our way to the blinds this afternoon, and the other group noticed a wounded wildebeest, so they asked me if I'd like to take it, so I said I would. After taking a second look at this guy, we realized that both of his back legs were broken from fighting, so the ethical thing to do would be to put him out of his misery and just make sure that he doesn't die from maybe getting eaten alive from hyenas or something like that. Oh my God, I made a perfect shot on this one. And he was hurting really bad, his back legs, so we really did a good thing by taking this animal out. I'm super excited, made a good shot. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal. If you're just joining us, we are hunting here in Namibia, Africa, for the purpose of harvesting some animals to donate it to a SOS Children's Village.
Now we're in the blind again. We had a quick lunch, and there's already monkeys or something. Great. That was the kudu. They barked just like that.
Yeah, they barked. They smelled us, so they just barked.
They barked just like elk do.
We had some kudu coming in, but our wind was swirling a little bit, and they ended up smelling us and taking off. But luckily, we had a nice impala come in, so I decided to get set up on it.
I'm shaking, I'm nervous. I want to know. I hate not knowing. It felt good. I shot an impala. Felt like a good shot. It clear past her. I can see my arrows on the ground. It looked good. Felt good.
there's a good impala that just came into the back of the water hole here that I'm gonna try to take a shot at. He's coming in there, and there's a smaller one in front of him, but it's a good one. Okay, folks, I just shot my first impala, only impala. That was a good shot, don't you think?
It's a good shot. Good shot.
I was fired up and I did exactly what I was supposed to. I put the string on my nose, made sure everything was lined up because I didn't want to make any errors. And after I shot, there was blood coming out everywhere, just like the ramcat's supposed to work.
Okay, we just found him. Let's go up and take a look.
Why is it come?
Well,
Jada's is in there, and mine too. We both shot impalas, probably within the same hour. Must be impala hour.
That's all the time we have for this week, but we've got a lot more of our hunt in Africa coming next week on Big Boys TV. Catch us on Facebook and on Instagram and on bigboystv.com. We got to the lodge. Really, I don't know. Do you see that little scuff of hair? I want you 2 inches to the right and an inch down. Shot placement on an African animal is a lot different than any of...
This week, I want to talk about our food plots and the preparation of the food plots. What we like to do is get the rocks out of the field first. We do soil samples and then we do rock removal if necessary. Now here in northern Michigan, in certain areas, we have a lot to go around. So what we've done is we've purchased a rock picker. Now that's not for everybody. We have enough food plots to make it worth our while. But you can rent them, or you can hire a bunch of kids, which we've done in the past, and gone out and picked the smaller food plots by hand. The reason that we do it is because of our equipment. The disc, all the teeth, everything on our tillage equipment, including the rototillers, are just beat up by the rocks. So it's either get the rocks out of the field or wear your equipment out. And that is the tip of the week.
Big Boys TV is sponsored by Marathon. Discover how a full tank of freedom from Marathon will take you wherever you go. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.